If I can turn maybe to an area that is less positive, but does require all our creativity and positive energies, and that's the area of North Korea, which draws many people here to the Korea Society for discussion. It looms large on the world stage, certainly as one of the very most serious security issues pressing our leaders today in both countries and internationally. And if I could get both of your perspectives on how you think we should be looking at North Korea now and the challenges that may confront us, especially as it threatens a fourth nuclear test, and given some of the very bombastic vitriol in recent days that have been dominating the news cycle.
Well, the last time I used to work for the Korean Embassy in Washington, D.C., that was back in 1990s. So it was from 1990 over to 1993. And then if you recall, it was in 1991 that we began to talk about North Korean nuclear issue. It was in 1991, which in fact ended up by having something called Geneva Framework Accord Agreement of 1994. So even beginning from 1994, it's already 20 years. And in 20 years, things have not improved. And then for that reason, I came to notice in Washington, D.C., as well as in other parts of the United States of America, there are some people who are just beginning to become impatient. That's what I'm beginning to notice. And then the thing is, what is important is if Korea and then the United States together, if in fact we are well prepared to deal with provocations coming from North Korea, conventional provocations, missile provocations, nuclear provocations, are we ready to deal with them? And the answer would be clearly yes, we are ready to deal with. So that's something we should be considering. And at the same time, why we are not making too much progress with respect to North Korean nuclear program, missile program? Well, it is because of North Korea. It is not the problem with us, Korea, and then the United States. It's problem with North Korea. So what we have been telling North Korea is, that's not the way you go. Well, you are saying we'll be pursuing two goals at the same time, weapons of mass destruction and economic development all at the same time. That's what you are saying, but at the end of the day, it wouldn't work. So we encourage you to stop those futile efforts of missile test, nuclear test, and we encourage you to come forward for more constructive engagements. That's what we are consistently telling North Korea, and then we very much hope that North Korea will respond to that very sincere efforts we are making, very sincere proposals we are making to North Korea.
Mm-hmm. Can North Korea reform itself? Can it change, do you feel?
Well, let's hope it will be able to do that. And then for that, I think we should be thinking about, there is one paragraph coming out of one novel which I really, really appreciate, and that's Alchemist, written by Coelho. Mm-hmm. And then what it says is that if you really want something to be done, all the world will unite and then help you. And then I guess what we are observing these days, maybe something equivalent to that, in the sense that there has been six-party talks, which started 10 years ago. And then again, six-party talks, it is not making too much progress, tangible progress. But at the same time, what I think about six-party talks is this, which is that there are concentric circles. And at the very core of the concentric circle, then we have Korea and then the United States. And we have Japan, we have China, we have Russia. And I think that concentric circle, it should be getting smaller and smaller and smaller, so that those five countries could be speaking with one voice. And of course, that one voice should in fact be supported by larger and growing number of countries in the international community. And I'm sure it will have very positive impact even upon a regime like North Korea.
Mm-hmm. Ambassador Kim.
You know, it's very difficult to be optimistic about prospects for progress on any of the issues that we care very deeply about, starting with the nuclear program. But at the same time, I think both we and the Republic of Korea are fully committed to pursuing complete denuclearization. Frankly, I don't think we have an option. I think we have to continue to work towards complete denuclearization. Six-party talks remains The process remains, and I think we should try to use that framework to pursue progress. I mean, it's within that context that the North Koreans made the most clear commitment to complete denuclearization. Obviously, as Ambassador An just indicated, through the agreed framework period, through the six-party process, we have seen very little tangible, lasting progress. But I think we have to continue to try, and as we pursue progress on these issues, one of the most important factors is for Washington and Seoul to maintain the strongest and closest possible coordination. And I think we have been able to manage very close communication and coordination with Seoul. That's very positive. China's role obviously is very important, and I think Seoul and Washington are very much focused on engaging the Chinese so that the Chinese will work more effectively with us in pursuing our common goal of denuclearization.
Do you feel we're getting there with the challenges that we've seen of China? And one of the president's goals was reassurances to the allies, concern about perhaps not having as much coordination of contingencies, and what might happen if there was sudden disintegration in the North. Do you feel, and also I guess regional tensions, China, Japan, Korea, Japan, do you feel that it's not an easy process, but is there a process that we can get to a better place with?
Well, we engage the Chinese at various levels, starting with between President Obama and President Xi Jinping, various dialogues. I think it's a work in progress. On the North Korea question, we hope the Chinese understand that it's in their own interest to work with us to pursue denuclearization, and that for them to continue to defend the North Korean behavior, irresponsible, provocative behavior, hurts their own interest. And I think this is why, for example, in last spring when we had the Security Council deliberation on a new sanctions resolution, we actually had good cooperation from the Chinese, because they realized that for North Koreans to continue to take the provocative actions that they had been taking damages China's own interests. And this is why we want to have more serious dialogue, deeper dialogue with the Chinese, so that we can be more effective partners in pursuing our common interests.